Hello and welcome to Total Drama Multiverse Season 2, Episode 14. Now, you might be confused on what you're looking at right now, but if you'll do remember last time, I did actually say that I plan on rebranding the season. You see, every season that I plan on making has its own little theme, except the first one, which is kind of the intro one, so that makes sense. But Season 3, 4, and 5 already have their own themes, and I felt like Season 2 needed a theme, but this one, none of the actual stuff that goes on in the season fits one certain theme. So I decided to call it Reloaded. Now, the reason I specifically put Reloaded is because it's a reference, everything's a reference in Total Drama Multiverse, to a Fortnite mode named Reload. If you search up Fortnite Reload, you will literally see that yellow reload. That is the Fortnite mode. And then the E and D, I just got a new E and a new D by cropping it. So, yeah, tell me what y'all think about that. Throughout the day, I'm going to be, whenever I get a chance, I'm going to be going back, changing all the thumbnails, all the titles of the previous 13 episodes to fit this. And my only little concern is that there is a lot of words here. I don't like that, especially when the logo's smaller. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you include the 2, 6 words, which I feel like is a lot for a logo, but I'm sure it's fine. So tell me what you think in the comments below, and I will let y'all get to the actual episode now. Hello and welcome to Total Drama Multiverse Reloaded, episode 14. So this is just going to be a normal episode on the game show, so let's get into it. We'll start with our pre-challenge section, where, once again, our pre-challenge sections don't really have too much going on in this part of the season. I mean, everything's kind of set as it is after the last elimination with 6. So, yeah, there's not really too much to talk about here. There is some other stuff going on during this time, but obviously y'all are going to have to wait for the post-credit scene to figure that part out. So let's just get straight into our challenge section. Why not? So this challenge, we're one away from my favorite number. This is challenge 36. Guess who? Again, like I said in the thing y'all just watched, everything's a reference. So I had 6 contestants. I didn't really know what to do with them because I've been thinking about this challenge for a bit, and I think it's going to work really well. I thought it would work well as a merge challenge, but I decided, since no one had suggested anything, which, by the way, if you want a challenge to be featured in a video, you can go suggest it in the comments below. And I didn't really know what challenge to do for the lore one. I decided to bring this into a team challenge, and I actually think it works pretty well. So let's explain how it works. The remaining 12 contestants, so all of the people from both teams, are all hidden behind doors labeled 1 through 12. Each camper has a mic to communicate and a tablet for them to vote for a door. The camper must convince their teammates not to vote their door. However, they all have voice changers that make their voices unrecognizable. The team to have all 6 of their members voted out first loses. So, for example, if you have Bruce in door 1, Sky in door 2, and Daisy in door 3, they all have voice changers, which make them sound pretty much identical, but when someone's talking, you can see, like, it says which door is talking. But they all sound pretty much identical. It's just like a super deep voice that no one can tell who it is. So Sky obviously doesn't want to eliminate one of her own by voting for Bruce, but Daisy is going to want to... Daisy might think, oh, okay, I think that a member of the revamped Rhinos is in door 2, so I'm going to try to convince them that I'm another member and that the person in door 1 is the person that's on the new news. And that's how you kind of like psychologically manipulate it. And with the camera that they have to see all the doors, did I say that yet? Oh no, I haven't said that. Okay, so each member also has a camera in the room, and that camera views all 12 doors, like the outside of all of them, and when someone's eliminated, they can see they can see the person walk out of their door, which means that they got eliminated, and that also means they know how many of their people are left. So, say Daisy's successful, Sky and Daisy vote Bruce. Bruce gets out here. Sky will be like, "Ah, crap, I just lost Bruce." But now Sky will be suspicious of door 3, which is Daisy. So yeah, I like this challenge. All right, so I'm gonna go random number generate who's in each of the 12 doors, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have randomly number generated everyone. I think we got a pretty good split here. So we have 1 through 6, with Lena being 1, Alice being 6, and then 7 through 12, with Bruce being 7 and 2D being 12. So there's not actually a split between 1 and 6 and 7 and 12. Like, there's not actually a difference there. They're all the same. But I did put them in 2 different tiers just because I don't want 12 people on one tier. It'll just be too long. Now, let's say Alice gets voted off this, then I'm just going to put her up. Oh, whoops. I'm going to put her up with her team, just so that, again, there's not 12 people in the challenge tier. So, yeah, that's also why it's past challenge. That means they've lost a challenge to go and wait for the post-challenge section. So, yeah, let's get into it. I think that when it first starts, not a lot of people are talking very much. I think the first person to say anything would probably be someone a little lower IQ. I think 2D would probably speak up first and be like, "Hi, I'm Door 12, and I'm a revamped Rhino. I'm just going to say it right now, I'm a revamped Rhino." And I think 2D's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a genius for this." But I don't think it would work too well. I think a few people start grilling him, and they're like, "All right, so if you're a revamped Rhino, who's the favorite on the team right now?" And 2D's like, "Oh, it's Daisy." And they're like, okay. And this is mainly the other revamped Rhinos, like Daisy, Ezekiel, Collector, trying to see if 2D is telling the truth, because they don't know if it's 2D. They just know that if Door 12 is telling the truth. So they ask him a few more questions, or like, what happened last? Who got voted out last? Because I mean, like, people don't even know who got voted out last on the other team. The new newts don't know because they were all blindfolded and put in these things like really early in the morning, put in these doors. This challenge is really in the early in the morning, so the new newts don't know which one got eliminated last night. They don't know that 6 is gone, which doesn't matter too much, but it does matter for that question. And I think that eventually 2D's probably able to clear himself as being a revamped Rhino. But in the process, that makes every single new newt vote for him. So that's 6 votes for Door 12, or 2D. And I think the only other person, there's not really a lead. So I think that everyone else on the team kind of scatters, because when you talk, you don't just talk to one person. When you say something, all 12 doors hear you. So, yeah, there's just not really anything you can do to have like a private conversation. So they didn't really know, they weren't trying to scheme or anything. They all just kind of voted randomly, and yeah, 2D ends up getting out here. Not like out of the game, but out of the challenge, just because he's kind of slow. And he kind of just screwed himself. Right, so 2D walks out of the area and goes to leave, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, we should have seen that coming." Like, no one's really shocked that it was 2D. I think everyone was like, "Okay, it's either 2D or Ezekiel." But then round 2 starts, and I think for round 2, a few people start like of the more strategic people start grilling certain numbers. So I think that Door 7, which is Bruce, starts grilling just a random number. He starts grilling Door 5, and he's like, "Hey, Door 5, which team are you on?" And Grim, who is Door 5, doesn't say. He's like, "I'm not going to say which door I'm on." And Bruce is like, "Okay, why not?" And Grim's like, "Well, you saw what happened to 2D." And Bruce is like, "Okay, well then can you tell me what the biggest alliance on your team is right now?" And Grim's like, "No." And Bruce is like, "Why not?" And Grim's like, "You're just trying to get me to reveal which team I'm on. It's kind of stupid. In fact, it makes me kind of suspicious of you. And Bruce turns off his mic and is like, wow, for someone this dark, I just played that pretty stupidly. Now, he doesn't get himself too many votes. I think that when it comes to the voting, it's still a little sporadic, because there's not just these one conversations. I'm just talking about like the main conversation, right? There's still little things going on, like maybe Lena's trying to find Patrice's door, or I don't know, some people are just being stupid just because, or insulting people just because they're hidden behind doors right now. I could see the Collector doing that to Daisy, which means that the Collector would probably get a vote from Daisy. I think Graham would probably vote Bruce, but it would be very divided. And I think overall, actually, yeah, probably Bruce gets voted out here. That's a little out of character for Bruce to do, but I just think it's better for the story if we get one of the like big strategic minds out of the way. So this is the part where it gets kind of confusing, because now door 7 is gone, which means that he is door 8, 9, 10, 11. I gotta remember that. 8, 9, 10, 11. I can't forget. Here, I can do this so that I don't get all the door numbers mixed up. 8 through 11. So then the next round starts, and I think, oh, by the way, everyone saw Bruce get out and was very shocked that Bruce got out so early in a challenge like this. I think that next up, I think that door number 3 continues grilling door number 2. And I think a lot of people recognize that those two have a relationship because they start full-on arguing with each other. And I think everyone on the New Newts recognizes that this is Daisy and the Collector, while everyone on the revamped Rhinos is a little more split, but they probably recognize that it's at least a member of the New Newts. Both of them are. So I think that kind of putting herself in jeopardy here. I think Sky makes the decision to go, hey, every single person, every single revamped Rhino, vote for door number 3. Just 2 or 3, so I think she goes 3. And that ends up happening. And I think that even though Ezekiel and Grimm might vote for door number 11 now, which is Sky, I think that the Collector and Daisy are still going to vote for each other. And that still gets all of or most of all of the votes to go to the Collector. And yeah, the Collector gets out here onto the New Newts you go. So then we have this one, which we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I'll do this. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 left. So I think that next, a few people are going to be questioning door number 11, which is Sky, and which is fair. But Sky goes, she just wanted to test to see which teams those are on, and she didn't actually know, which kind of makes a few people, like, she wanted to test, because she starts making excuses like, oh, who knows, Patrice and Lena could have been fighting, and yeah, the Collector and Daisy, she could have just not known about that, yada yada. She starts making excuses, and I think she still gets a few votes, but I think that the main person who doesn't get, or who gets most of the votes, is actually going to be Lena here, who, by the way, I forgot to mention, is a lot happier. She's not like depressed and having anxiety attacks every 5 minutes now that Mashiga's gone. But that's like the only difference with her character right now. She's a lot happier and a lot more confident. But she probably would. I could see her realistically going. It says door number 1 on the mic, and she says, "How would me and Patrice be fighting?" Which incriminates herself, making everyone realize, oh, okay, this is Lena, and. Yeah, because of that, I think that Lena is a Rhino, and I think there is 1, 2 votes Sky. Was Sky a Rhino or a New? Sky is also a Rhino, so I think that Sky doesn't vote Lena. I think Sky, Patrice, and Lena all go for Daisy because they think, okay, then it's Daisy and the Collector. But I think Ezekiel, Grimm, and Ash and Mel all go here. Now you would think, okay, we're going to tie it up, but this is where Alice comes in. And Alice just lost 6, so Alice is trying to get revenge. Now, the way Alice is going to do that will be explained a little more later, but part of it is sabotaging the challenge. So Alice also votes Lena, getting Lena taken out here. So then, because of that, Lena was door 1, so I can delete that. And then we can move on to our next one. So this is a very complicated challenge. So now we have this round. I think the main two suspects are Daisy and Sky. Um, you also can't see. I think it'd be kind of cool, but I decided against it. You can't see who people vote for. I think it'd be interesting if you could see, like, oh, door 3 voted for door 8 or something like that. But I'm not including that. Yeah, so I think that it kind of just comes down to a 50-50 split here between all of the newts wanting to go for the main rhino, being Sky, which they don't actually know it's Sky, but they can assume that it's a rhino, or all of the newts, all the rhinos wanting to go for Daisy, which is the main newt target. No, the main newt. There we go. But just like last time, Alice sabotages the challenge, voting door 12, getting Sky out here. So I think that this would kind of just continue now. I think that the next biggest subject would be Daisy, but it doesn't matter because I think at this point they have a majority. So I think Daisy would probably go, okay, at this point we have majority, so just everyone she's fully incriminated at this point. She knows that. So she's like, everyone who is on the newts, just vote for, don't vote for me, just vote for the rhinos and we just win free, right? Like, there's no way they can even go against us. So she says, everyone who's a newt, say it. So door 2 says, I'm a newt. Door 4 says, I'm a newt. I think I've actually been making Grim vote wrong this entire time, but it doesn't actually change anything. I think I might have been saying Grim was voting the wrong person at least a little bit there, but Grim obviously doesn't say anything. Alice says, I'm a newt, even though she isn't. Ash and Mel both say I'm a newt, which confuses everybody, but yeah. And after Alice says it, I think Patrice would probably also recognize that if she says it, it might confuse people, and they'll be like, okay, 2 people are lying, but let's just get out door number 5, and that's what they do. They vote out door number 5, which is Grim. He's the only one who didn't say anything. And Patrice doesn't vote that, but Alice still does. But it doesn't matter. I think Patrice still votes over here after saying I'm a newt. Now we have 6 people who have all said they're a newt. Now, obviously, since they've watched everyone go out, they know that 2 people are lying. They know Alice and Patrice are lying. And I think that they wouldn't really be able to get to the bottom of it. So Daisy's like, okay, we have 4 to their 2. Let's just start cannibalizing people. So she says, I'm just going to go for door number 3. Wait, no, not door number 3. Door number 3 is not in here. Sorry, my bad. Door number 4. And obviously, Ezekiel is in door number 4. And he's like, wait, no, I'm literally on your team. I'm a newt. I'm Ezekiel. But obviously, because of the voice changer, no one actually believes him. And everyone cannibalizes him except Alice, who actually believes it and just votes for who she thinks it is. But she's wrong. She thinks it's door number 9, and it's not. So, yeah. Also, I just realized this counter is wrong. You're 11. Who got out that was between these guys? Was it Lena? No, it was Sky, right? I think Sky was right here. I might be wrong. Regardless, you know what? Just for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. We're just gonna do that. That's not how it is in the actual in-universe challenge, but just so that I'm not getting myself confused. So she says, everyone cannibalize dorm number 2. Dorm number 2 is like, I'm Ezekiel. I'm not there, but no one believes him except Alice, who goes for who she thinks it is, but she still accidentally votes 5, which is Mel, which she's wrong about. So Ezekiel gets kind of cannibalized by the group here and walks out, and Daisy's like, shit, well, we still have majority. And she's like, okay, now let's go number 4. And Ash is like, hey, how come you get to call all the shots? Why? Because Ash isn't, like, under the freaking like spell. I mean, he is under the, like, he has to like Daisy, just like everyone else, but he doesn't know it's Daisy. He's like, well, I think that we should do number 6. And obviously Daisy still votes for Ash. So that's 1 vote for number 4. Then Ash votes 6. Alice votes 5. Mel votes 4, though, which means that Ash gets over here. And Daisy's like, shit! And Mel is starting to get suspicious of door number 1 now. So she goes, okay, I think that it's you. So she goes to date and gets Daisy, and Alice goes her, and Daisy goes her. So that's Alice goes Mel, Daisy goes Mel, and Patrice goes Daisy. And I think that's 2 votes Mel, yeah. So Mel gets out right there. Daisy's kind of just destroying herself, and I think eventually it just comes down to these 3, and Daisy's like, okay, we have to be for real. How the hell was I so bad that I got 4 people? It was a 4-2 down to just me versus these 2. And she's like, alright, you know what? I'm a little slow. Y'all can take this win. But y'all still suck, though. And Alice is like, actually, no. I am Alice. I am door number 3. Door number 6 has to be Patrice then. I will vote with you to get her out. And Patrice is like, what the hell, dude? And Daisy's like, oh, not my drama, but okay. And both of them vote Patrice. And obviously that leads just to 2 of them, where Alice throws and votes herself. So there would have been like a whole tiebreaker thing, but no, Alice just votes herself. So, yeah, that's it for the challenge section of this one. Let me delete these. That was very overly complicated, but I hope y'all got it. I think I got it, kind of. Like, I was struggling there, too, so, yeah. But all that really matters from it is that the revamp rhinos lost because Alice threw the challenge. Now, you might be thinking, how is Alice going to come back from this? No one likes her. Patrice knows she cheated. Well, not cheated. Threw. And, yeah, she probably already would have been the target. Well, there's multiple versions of Alice. And the reason I specifically chose this one is because this one's the pettiest, assholiest, that's not a word, rudest one out there, right? Not like a full-blown villain. I mean, she is in the games, but not in this. But she's not cool. So, what she does is she threw the challenge just to make everyone mad and annoyed so that they'd be more, less distracted for what she does. What she does is she has killed a lot of different ink creatures, which aren't human, so not that bad, in a lot of different ways. And one of those ways is poison. So she uses her ink, and she takes some other ingredients from Chef's new, he has his restaurant, right? Which is like new and improved, by the way. He's got like a really cool restaurant on the island, but he still serves slop. And she mixes a non-lethal amount because she doesn't want to kill humans in this version of Alice Angel. In the game, she does, but in this, she doesn't want to kill the person. She just wants to kind of get them injured enough to where they have to be medically evacuated. And she has learned, because everyone was told this, that you will get medically evacuated if you get a virus. Because one-up mushrooms cannot cure viruses. Why they can't is beyond knowledge, but they cannot cure viruses. So if you eat a one-up mushroom, it's not going to save you. So, yeah. Alice needs to figure out, though, who she wants to poison. Because she knows that Bruce is too smart, Grim won't be affected by it, and Sky is also too smart. By the way, I can just take us up here, because the new newts don't really have anything new going on. But yeah, she's kind of stuck between either Lena or Patrice, and I think that she'd probably end up going with the one that's liked more by everybody, which is Lena. So, also Patrice is kind of a survivalist who literally lived in a world with a zombie virus. So, just to be safe, I think she goes Lena here. So we come to the elimination, where Patrice exposes Alice in front of everybody, and everyone is pissed off and all ready to vote Alice. But right before the votes are read, Lena starts, like, going nuts, like, just wriggling in pain over this virus that was given to her with a mix of Alice's ink and Chef's food. Which, by the way, she just slipped Alice's ink and some other stuff into Lena's food at dinner time. and which is why it's just now kicking in. And after seeing this, Chris is like, "Holy shit, we got to get you to a multiversal doctor," which basically is just a like there's a multiversal healthcare system for like big problems, and they can help solve it across the multiverse. That's just a thing. It doesn't matter too much. There's a lot of stuff like that. There's like the multiversal police department and stuff like that. But those won't matter too much for a long time. Eventually they will. So they send her there, and after getting some feedback, they are like, Chris is like, "Hey, so Lena's going to have to be removed from the competition. She's going to be all right, but it's going to take them at least a few months to get her to be okay." And everyone is obviously sad about that. And Chris is like, "You know what? Just because of this, I will make y'all not need to eliminate anyone tonight. I think that's okay, and that's fair." So Patrice goes and says bye to her friend one last time. One last time for the game show, I guess, not forever. And everyone is super sad about that, except Alice, who is grinning. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Lock in Alice, I guess. When I said she's not like a villain, she's definitely still a villain in the game show, that's for sure. At least now she is. But I hope y'all enjoyed this one, because I know I did. I think the challenge could have been a little better. It was a little complicated. But yeah, if y'all want to have your own challenges, once again, comment them below. Comment what you think about Total Drama Multiverse Reloaded, because I think it's pretty cool. But it might be a little too wordy for you. So yeah, just let me know. And I cannot wait to catch you on Monday for the next episode of Total Drama Multiverse Reloaded. Episode, it'll be 15, I think. Oh my gosh, we're already at 15. All right, well, see you then. Okay, so last episode, obviously y'all remember Marcy was pulled through a portal by an arm she didn't recognize. Well, that arm wasn't anything too crazy. It was just Jones's metal arm, and that's why she didn't recognize it, is because he has a metal arm, which obviously she goes nuts over because she's a crazy nerd. So yeah, Jones pulls her through with Hope. Hope is the only person with a actually fully functioning rift gun right now. All the other ones have been stolen by the villains or destroyed, because Peely's was stolen and Jones was broken and now can't actually travel multiverses. You can just teleport him around the place, but it's still unstable that he still doesn't really want to use it. So yeah, they only have they only have Hope's rift gun left, and obviously like Chris and Chef have one, but they aren't going over there yet. So they took Marcy just because they've been watching the villains grow, and they're trying to get to Chris, but something is blocking them from reaching that reality, either through communication from the Rift Watches or like from actually physically going there. Like they can't get to them, so they're just, that's why they've been just watching the other people grow bigger, because they can't really fight the villains right now with just Jones, Hope, and Peely with no like crazy powers or anything. So they've just been watching the villains grow while trying to make their way to the reality 37 with Chris and all that. On the host side of things, this has also been going on, and since that's where they normally sent the campers that got eliminated to be sent back to their reality, or whatever reality they really want to be sent to, in the case of like 6, that's why Chris had to hand deliver 6 to the Cooking Mama reality last time, and why Chris didn't have any help and kind of just went to the middle of the multiverse and called for help until he found that place, the multiversal hospital. And same with Lauren and Chef. Lauren doesn't have her own rift gun, but she definitely steals her dad and her, I guess she'd probably say Uncle Chef at this point. So yeah. And as for Ezekiel, who is still family with at least these two, and I guess kind of Chef. Chef is like such a close friend that he's basically family, right? So yeah, Ezekiel, they're trying to keep him out of it. 1, because Lauren doesn't like Ezekiel, and 2, because he's already got the game show to deal with. Our gang of villains continues to grow as they go to pick up Afton. Now, when it comes to William Afton or Springtrap or whatever, I'm mainly going to call him Afton. I might call him William sometimes. I might call him Springtrap sometimes, but I'm mainly going to call him Afton. So they go and they find him, and when they go to his reality, they see a bunch of fire just everywhere. There's fire everywhere and ruins, and they look down. Or well, I guess not all of them, but one of them looks down and sees a burnt sign that says Sesame Street. So they eventually see a silhouette out in the distance, and they think that's Afton. But they come up, and it's not Afton. It's actually Elmo. So, if y'all remember, after the events of Total Drama Multiverse Season 1, Elmo is kind of insane. And after getting so screwed over twice in Total Drama Multiverse Season 1, he went mad, completely lost it, and burned down and killed everyone in our Sesame Street universe, the whole place. So they ask him if they know they ask him if he knows where Afton is, and Elmo leads him to a little place, which is Elmo's house, which is the only place that isn't completely destroyed, where Afton's been hanging out, and they actually have a lot in common. They're both mascot horror, freaking murderers who are insane. So Elmo decides there's nothing left for him here and joins their team of villains. I want to start this bit off by saying how weird is it that we have two characters that are wearing human skin right now. The Mimic is obviously wearing Owen's skin, but if y'all know, Sin is the robot girl that's on the villains little team right now. She's wearing her previous owner's skin, name being Tessa. So that's kind of interesting how we have two characters wearing human skin as a suit right now. So that's kind of nice. Anyways, the Mimic wearing Owen's skin has just kind of walked around acting like Owen, because that's what the Mimic does. It'll go in random suits and act like that person. So Owen's kind of retarded. So he's just walking around farting, scratching his butt, stuff like that, and just being weird. Maybe playing, or like, he wants to kill, if it was just normal Mimic, he would kill the contestants, but since it's Owen, he just pranks them, because Owen's goodness shines through a little bit. Since he's mimicking Owen, he has to mimic Owen's goodness. So after that, the Mimic ends up coming back and ripping off the Owen suit, in quotation marks. And after taking it off, he hears a gasp behind him and looks around to see Magica. Now, he is like, I'm gonna kill you. And Magica is like, no, I'm gonna kill you, weirdo. And they end up fighting quite a bit before I think that the Mimic, who's already gone through so much, when it was Mexes with the mask and the Malik and all this stuff, is just like, you know what, let's just have a truce. And Magica's like, okay, but don't wear my skin. And Mimic's like, no promises. And she's like, good enough for me, because I like this cave. So both of them make a truce and stay in the cave.